The We Are Rewind Blaster Curtis Boombox. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're having a look at the We Are Rewind Blaster Curtis Boombox. So this is a modern take on those 80s infamous boomboxes. And yeah, we'll see what it's like. I was a bit in two minds about whether to buy this, partly because of the cost. It costs £406, including the postage and packing, but then I had to pay import duty at £94.21, so it's a good £500 worth there. But is it actually £500 worth of kit? It does seem an awful lot of money. I've used it quite a bit, and there's things I like and things I definitely don't like about it. But first of all, let's crack on and do the unboxing. So it's literally just arrived, so let's see what's in the box. So I've already cut the tape. And exactly how it arrived this, so double boxed, which is nice, and they've sort of made the box look like the contents, which is quite cool. So let's see what's inside it. So of course it's made in China, no surprises there. Oh, there's the top of it. It's quite cool. So we've got a quick start guide. It's a quick start, and then user manual. Okay, well that's cool. You can report security issues. Okay. Interesting. And then down the side here we've got various power plug type for different types for different territories. And everything there, including a UK power supply. I'm assuming this is going to be 100 to 240. So output is 18 volts. That's interesting. 100 to 240. Yeah. So, and what's the ampage? 1.8 amps. So, yeah, that's quite beefy. And let's get this out. So I'm not quite sure what to expect, because seeing it on a website and seeing the real thing, it's quite boxy. I mean, it's designed in France, so gosh, it's a sturdy thing, and it's got quite a positive click to the handle. So, see VU meters, tape deck. Very clean, very simple. Very damped checks, which I expect to it'll free up with some use. Okay, well I'll give this a charge, and we'll give it a try. Let's crack on. So first impressions are, it's quite a big bulky bit of kit, and it's heavy too. It's just under 7 kilo. It's a solid piece of kit, I have to say. The handle is proper solid metal and has a rather nice click, so it doesn't rest against the back there. And yeah, it's proper metal inlay here. So controls, you've got the mic volume. It's got a mono mic input, which is more for karaoke really, more than anything. Then you've got record volume. Then you've got the headphone jack, like I say, the mono in. Auxiliary in, which is stereo. Then you've got type 1 and type 2 cassettes, and they're metal. Then you've got the mode selector, so it's tape off, a lot like boomboxes back in the day really. And you've got Bluetooth in, not Bluetooth out, just Bluetooth in, and auxiliary in. And then you've got the bass, treble, balance control, volume, and you've got the Bluetooth pairing there. Battery indicator, so it's got a Li-ion battery in there. So the battery gives, depending on use, about 10 to 15 hours, but that's obviously very dependent on what you're using it for. Obviously, if you're playing it loud and a cassette, then it's going to be shorter, on the short side. The indicator glows red when it's charging and goes out when it's full, so it doesn't go green or anything. This is the power supply, as you saw in the unboxing. So yeah, relatively good quality power supply from what I can see, and it is 18 volts output, so it's a bit of a weird one. Capable of supplying 4 amps, so you know, it's a half decent power supply, but nothing out of the ordinary. You see these quite a few bits and pieces these days. So yeah, on the back there's not a huge amount to see. There's a port there for the speakers, and you've got the battery compartment there. Now we'll be doing a teardown video, but I'm actually going to do that separately to this one. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It'll be coming out about the same time as this, but I just thought I'd keep them separate. So let's have a look at the tape deck itself. The soft eject, which didn't the first time I tried to. There's the actual deck itself. It does look familiar, doesn't it? It's sort of based on the Tanashin standard deck that so much kit uses. Stereo head, of course, and it has got a it's not using a magnet for the erase head, so it has got a proper erase head. Quite a dinky little pinch roller there. But yeah, the actual cassette, this is one of the things I don't like actually. The actual cassette door, it's a very close tolerance, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you have to make sure you do get the tape in properly. If you get it even just slightly crooked, that's it, it won't go in. So yeah, you've got to make sure that it slides in properly. You can see there just how tight it is, and it's slightly sprung, but yeah, there's a bit of effort there. And it, to me, and again we'll discover this in the teardown, I can't see that the front comes off and gives you access to see the tape path with a cassette in the door shut. I don't think there's any easy way to do it. I mean, there's a hole there for azimuth, but other than that, I don't know. To me, it just seems like there's no sort of serviceability on the deck without having to strip it down. But like I say, we will do that. The other thing I'm not too keen on, but I sort of see why they did it, because they wanted to keep the lines clean. It's got quite a few screws, but all the screws actually have rubber bungs in the screw holes. So I'm sure that's not going to be too much trouble to sort of do anything with, to sort of get to the screws. But it's just an added sort of faff. It does look as if it comes apart there as well, so it's very much sort of take just the back off. So another thing I'm not too keen on, it has VU meters, but the VU meters are activated in play anyway by the volume control. So the amount of volume that's coming out the speakers is actually portrayed on the VU meters. It's not actually the level from the cassette. I haven't tested record yet, and we will do that. But yeah, and I'm quite intrigued to see what that's like as well. So yeah, it's interesting. So the tape controls, they're okay, but it's quite a noisy deck. Quite clunky. They're not soft touch or anything. It's still got that very sort of characteristic Canoshin feel to the buttons. It is full auto stop. Actually see, it's quite stiff. You sort of slip off the cassette. It's so stiff getting it in and out. So rewind, for example, without a cassette in, stop straight away. But yeah, it's full auto stop, which is quite nice, I suppose. Interesting mark there on the top of the cassette. So yeah. So the speakers are actually pretty impressive, I have to say. So does have proper tweeters. So the sound is good. I would say it is quite bass heavy. I've turned the bass down. That's treble, sorry. One thing I didn't mention is the power socket is round the right hand side. So something else I'm not too keen on is, I don't know if you can quite see it, it does show up fairly well on the VU meters around the 50, the minus 50. It's got like a dark like shadow, and I mean, they're not that bright either, I have to say. The marketing makes them out to be really quite bright, vibrant orange and sort of a uniform look as well. But those dark marks, they do catch your eye quite a bit. Maybe that's something that they'll improve on maybe later on in production. But and we'll have a look as well to see how they are lit and whether it's a sticker or something that has been taken off. Something else that's worth noting, but you wouldn't expect it really with this sort of type of deck, there is no cue review either. This is literally fast forward, rewind, play, stop. So yeah, like I say, you wouldn't expect any more really from a deck of this type. So a quick example of what it actually sounds like. I mean, obviously it's depends on what you're listening on and all the rest of it, but it gives you just a bit of an idea of what it's like. So the bit you're all waiting for, the wound flutter test. Now, We Are Rewind actually quotes a wound flutter of 0.15% thereabouts, typically. So it's still struggling with that door bit. So let's see how we get on. And yeah, it doesn't sound too bad, but speed wise that's actually pretty good, but wound flutter, I would say the wound flutter is about the same as the Maxell deck, you know. That's really not very impressive at all. So 0.16. Yeah, but it's, yeah, maybe it's a bit better than the portable decks. Well, the Maxell anyway. The Maxell actually was a little bit worse. I have actually used this for about 8 hours with cassettes prior to recording this and obviously doing this test, which you do need to do. You need to sort of break in the deck and just get everything, all the lubrication running and all the rest of it, and the motor sort of to settle if it needs it for manufacturing. But yeah, it's not really that great considering how much it costs. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so I'm going to test the recording, and I'm going to use my old mobile to pair. So okay, so music and okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Bluetooth speaker. It's going to do it okay, isn't it? But what I shall do now, I'll just cue up the tape and we'll do some recording. Okay, so here it goes. God, it's quite stiff pressing record. So the VU meters are showing the recording input. And what I am hearing, it could just be, well, I don't know. I'm hearing sort of artifacts in the audio, like a, I don't know if you can quite make that out. Turn the treble up. Okay, so it does help if you actually turn up the music on the phone. So I'm now getting a good deflection, and it sounds good. Really quite pleased with it. So what I'll do is I'll do a bit more recording, and we'll capture some recorded content and see what it sounds like. Okay, so let's test the actual audio playback of what we recorded. Okay, so my final thoughts on the We Are Rewind Curtis Boombox GB001 series. Expensive, isn't it? It's really, yeah, the big thing. I mean, it costs just over £500 at the end of the day for something that is fairly mediocre in my humble opinion. The tape deck is not that great. It's an improvement in many ways, but it's still, I don't know, it's trying to make something modern using a basically ultimately obsolete format to fit into a category of some description, and it doesn't do it very well, I have to say, if I'm brutally honest. What I do like about it, the controls are nice. I mean, these are plastic, but they're a good quality plastic. Switches don't feel terrible at all, which is something these days, I suppose. And the finish is quite nice. The looks, it's modern, that's for sure, but it's just a box, and it feels like it's just like a direct CAD exercise somehow. This bothers me. The front door, it's just so, you have to be so accurate putting this in. At the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, but you know, I am finding sometimes when I'm putting a cassette in, it doesn't always, you think you've sort of put it in and you haven't quite, because it really is so snug. The deck itself, well, time will tell how that fares, but it isn't particularly refined. It does make odd noises. I mean, that spring noise wasn't wonderful. And it's a fairly noisy deck. I mean, you wouldn't notice when you're obviously using it as a boombox anyway, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I struggle to really justify owning it, to be honest. And I'm mildly disappointed. I say mildly because it will actually be quite useful. The speakers are great for what it is, and I will use it a lot as a Bluetooth speaker, to be fair, because it does really pack a bit of a punch. Might have a go with the karaoke function as well at some point, but yeah, well, yeah, it's there. It does have feet, rubberized feet, which are quite nice. Don't forget to take the plastic covers off. So it doesn't slip around on your tabletop, and it does have a label on the bottom as well. So 18 volts, 4 amps. Made in China, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It's certainly not worth the money. If it was, oh, what would I be willing to pay? 200 quid? I think that would be a fair amount for it, and then the postage, obviously. But I think sort of like getting on for 400 quid is a lot for what it is. So yeah, what I am intrigued in now is what it's like inside and how well it's built, and what those strange marks are on the VU meters. So we're going to strip it down, do a teardown of it in a separate video. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. It's always quite fun to look at modern kit like this and just see how lucky we were back in the day. With that, bye for now.